Okay, and we are live. All right, guys, how is it going? A day of big news for Manchester United. So, obviously, we had all the talk about Bruno Fernandes becoming the captain. Obviously, we've had the Hojlund updates. But first and foremost, let's get started with the new goalkeeper of Manchester United. That is right, folks. Andre Onana has finally been announced as a Manchester United player, and he has been speaking to Manchester United, doing his interviews as we would expect. And the good news is the man is on his way to New York to play for Manchester United. He will be joining up with the tour. He has already arrived. All is done. Thankfully, we are finally here, guys. It took a long time to get here, but now we are here. So, Onana unsucceeding the great goalkeepers at Manchester United. He has said, to have been chosen to carry on this tradition makes me very proud. I want to win trophies with my new colleagues. And this is something we spoke about last night on the show. Now, we've seen Onana already doing interviews for Gazzetta dello Sport, for Italian sources and stuff, but he is finally announced as a Manchester United player, and he has been speaking to United, and some of the quotes there are really good. So, to join Manchester United is an incredible honour. I have worked all my life to get to this moment, overcoming many obstacles along the way. Walking out at Old Trafford to defend the goal and contribute to the team will be another amazing experience. It is the start of a new journey for me, an exciting journey for me, with new teammates and new ambitions to fight for. United has a long history of incredible goalkeepers, and now I will give everything to create my own legacy in the coming years. I am excited again to work with Erik ten Hag. I cannot wait to play my part in the success I know he is determined and I know he can bring to this great football club. So, guys, it's all looking good. It's the one thing we do want to complain about, guys, is we should have had Rihanna on that announcement video. Let's see. We have Stephanie down there. Good to see you. And Dan is saying as well, more good news. Plenty of good news tonight, guys. Honestly, really positive night for Manchester United. And a positive week. You know, the pre-season performances, they've been good. The transfers, they're heating up, and Manchester United are starting to act a little bit more like a serious club. I'm not going to say we're there. There's a long way to go yet, both on the pitch and off the pitch, but the signs of progress and the signs of United getting to where we should be as a football club, acting like a football club of our size and our stature, is so important. Stephen Walsh is down there absolutely buzzing. Onana was my name. Absolutely, guys. So excited. And Stephanie's saying, in cricket we have Baz ball, now United have Onana ball. Exciting times, and we're draws are like losses, and we need to focus on winning on football matches. Yeah, that's a big thing, guys. You know, we are starting to up those standards. We're acting like a big club. We are really getting moving in the right direction, and it's took a long time for United to get there. And as Dan says, in Erik ten Hag we trust. I completely agree with you guys. I am trusting in this man. I believe in this man, and I'm excited to see where we're going to go. I feel like this is the biggest transformative signing to coming an Erik ten Hag side that we have made so far. Moving from the likes of McTominay and Fred in midfield, yeah, that's good. Going from Martial to Hojlund, that'll be good. But getting Onana done, that's a big step in the right direction for Manchester United. Gregory is down there, good to see you. And Onana deal is done, and now it's time to sign Hojlund. Yes, that is the next step on the Manchester United agenda. That is the next point that we're going to go to, because Hojlund, he's going to be the next signing. It's looking likely. It looks like we're coming, and Stephen is saying the best signing hasn't arrived yet. If you know something, man, let me know. But yeah, guys, honestly, we are getting close to having a very good transfer window, and that's the main thing that we want to get talking about tonight. So, talking here from Italian sources on Rasmus Hojlund, no less. Atalanta had a meeting with their manager Gasperini last night, and the coach has asked for a solution within the next 10 days. That was a good update to get. We want to see pressure from Atalanta's side for United to come in with these offers, not to do what we have done in other windows and other transfers in this window as well, where we've gone in with bids that we are pretty confident will be rejected. We want to move quickly on this. And look, one of the main reasons United want to move so quickly on this Rasmus Hojlund deal is because PSG are getting involved as well. PSG have been speaking to Hojlund camp. They've been speaking to his representatives. United, we suddenly have competition here for a must-sign player, for a player and Hag is demanding. So I think that's good, because it's going to make United actually be really quick on this. We need to be quick on this one. So coming in from Fabrizio Romano, he is saying United will send the official proposal to Atalanta soon. United want to avoid any hijack from Paris Saint-Germain as PSG are speaking with the players' camp. So look, this is something United don't tend to do. Normally, United like to go for players who have a clean run at because we are afraid of being dragged into bidding wars. And look, make no mistake about it, a bidding war with PSG, Atalanta are more likely to get the money out of Paris Saint-Germain. But the truth is, Manchester United have a really good foothold on this transfer. We have a really good opportunity to go out and sign Hojlund as well as Onana, who have just brought in and really, really have a go at this window. There's other players going to come in. Look, we're looking at Suzuki. We're looking at Amrabat. Those deals are not quite as advanced, yes, admittedly, but we are making the right strides. We're making the right progress. And I'm feeling really, really positive. So, guys, poll tonight, I'm asking you guys, and it kind of has been swept under the rug amongst the big, big updates on the announcement of Onana, the Hojlund updates, and that is Bruno Fernandes has been named Manchester United captain. So I'm asking you guys, is Bruno the right choice for captain? Let me know. So yes or it's a no. Get your votes in down below in the poll. Gregory says the Glazer family won't sell the team, believe me guys, because they know we're making more money by not spending money. Look, I feel like they're still going to sell. I feel like it's going to have to happen because of the business model. Yusuf, good to see you. Thank you very much. All the best. Good evening, all the best football fans are at Manchester United. Dan says 24 for Onana, shirt number. I haven't seen that. I think that might have been his Inter Milan number as well, so maybe that's something he wants to carry on. Who else have we got down here? Stephanie saying easiest poll so far. Yeah, look, I'm taking it easy on you guys. There's no big deep feelings and deep thoughts that we guys have to go in on these polls tonight. Just simple, simple, simple. Stephen says we are skint. We might be close. Oh, that's in relation to Gregory's point. Yeah, look, I feel like we are skint in the sense that the business model isn't working. Thankfully, the money is there. Ashid, good to see you, man. Bruno Fernandes announced as captain. Now the official announcement with Onana. Yeah, really, really positive day for Manchester United. And I was expecting a quiet enough Thursday. Look, I thought this Onana deal would have been announced sooner. When it wasn't announced by midday in through the afternoon, you're like kind of thinking, yeah, maybe it's not going to happen today. But this is a game-changing signing. This is a massive, massive deal for Manchester United. And guys, I'm so excited to see what Onana is going to bring to this team because it is going to revolutionise how Manchester United play on the pitch. And it is so, so exciting. And we are modernising Mr. Yu, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining in with us. Stephen says Old Trafford modernising 1.3 billion. It's going to cost a lot of money, guys. Dan is also saying 2 more signings, a CDM, and then a centre forward, and we must sell, sell, sell. Yeah, absolutely. And the sales are really important, and it's gearing up like United are finally starting to pull the trigger on a lot of these sales. Now, a lot of them, admittedly, they seem to be for young players. We've seen Bjorn Hardley go today as well. We've also seen reports that Charlie Savage is close to joining Reading on a permanent deal. Look, I've no problem with that. I feel like United have players who maybe were never going to make it in the first team in the academy. So not a bad idea by any stretch to sell these guys on. As Stephen says, £800 million in debts and owed money transfers need paying off. Yep, that's a big one. And I think the Glazers are still going to sell. My personal opinion is no investment firm are going to give them the billions of pounds needed to make Manchester United what they're meant to be and earn the money that we need to be paying off those debts without looking a big say in the overall running of the football club. I just don't see it happening, guys. And Stephanie says, watch Stephanie's video, the shorts afternoon, very good, 5 players in yourself. Thank you, Stephanie, very much for that there as well. Much appreciated, guys. Yeah, looking to bring some more content as well, maybe some videos, shorts and stuff as well. Very busy with work at the moment, but when we can, I will get it. Stephen says, Kane is coming, everyone. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Dan is saying, clear the decks. It is the end of McFred. Honestly, that could be a step forward for Manchester United. If we can replace McTominay, can replace Fred, that will be a massive, massive improvement for Manchester United. So let's get talking on players going out because there's a lot of stuff has come out today. So this is coming in from Ducker of the Telegraph. very, very reliable journalist, and he says Donny van de Beek's future is uncertain. The possibility of him included in the Hojlund deal was discussed, but Atalanta only want cash. Look, that's okay. That's okay. United can work around that. There's probably going to be other teams interested in Donny van de Beek, and maybe we should charge another 5 million just for that goal in pre-season the other day. What a beauty of a strike that was. But in terms of other players going out, there is a lot of movement coming at United. So from the same article, we have James Ducker also saying Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri can leave on loan this season. Ten Hag would like to evaluate them further in the USA Tour. A decision has not been made as of yet on those two players. And I would prefer us to be a bit more decisive. I would prefer us to be a little bit more, these guys are going on loan because they're not going to play or whatever. But we're gonna evaluate. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna see how they do on the pitch, and that's going to be the big indication. So look, really positive on that. I'm a fan of these players going on loan because I'm a big backer of loan moves, and I feel like the right loan move can make or break a young player's career, and it really is throwing them into the deep end and seeing how they do. If they sink, they sink. If they swim, they swim, and then you have a better indication of where they're at as a young footballer. And look, United, thankfully, we're in a position now where we have a lot of quality in the team. It isn't so easy for Pellistri, isn't so easy for Amad to break into the team, and I don't think that's a bad thing because that's highlighting the amount of strength and depth in some areas we have in the pitch. So another player going on loan is going to be Matej Kovar. Now, he has impressed me on pre-season tours, so he is expected to leave United one more time on loan, and he did not travel with the USS squad. So that's kind of to be expected. I feel like when he wasn't included, it was obvious he was going to go on loan. And with talks of Zion Suzuki coming in now as well, as also, of course, Andre Onana being announced, Manchester United, really, we are looking at wholesale changes in the goalkeeping department. Henderson, I'm expecting to be sold. I think that comes pretty quickly. I'm surprised he's unsure, but it is what it is. But that move should happen. He should be joining Nottingham Forest within the next week or two, hopefully for £20 million. If United only get around 10, 15, that's a really poor move. And we really need these sales. I think it was Dan saying sell is going to be the message of the day for Manchester United. Really important that we get the sales done as well as getting these players in. And look, I'm really happy about the fact that United have managed to get Onana and Mount in without having to make serious sales. It looks like we can bring in Hojlund without a serious sale as well, which is good because I'm not backing these guys. Dan is saying Onana number 24. Joke, I actually haven't seen that at all, guys. But maybe I've just missed it when I was going live. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. He will be the number one for us, make no mistake about it. Whether it's on the back of his shirt, whether it's number 24, the guy will be the man between the sticks. And that's why I think we're going to see some movement. It's going to be a domino effect at Manchester United. We're going to see Henderson go. We'll probably see Kovar going on loan. We might see Tom Heaton go to Luton Town. Those are moves now that can happen, that the Onana deal is done. It is announced and he is officially a Manchester United player. And it's nothing but a good thing, guys. I'm really happy about this. And I will do a video on it. I'll record something tomorrow. Just a quick look at how Onana will change this team. I know a lot of people have done it, but I feel like it's only fair that we have a proper look and see what Onana is going to bring, because there's a lot of people out there still, questioning the move, mostly rival fans, but he will be terrific for Manchester United. I have so much confidence in the guy's ability, so much belief in his talent on the ball as a shot stopper as well. He's still very capable. And there does seem to be this sort of strange belief that if you're a good goalkeeper with your feet, you cannot be a good shot stopper, or vice versa. I don't know how that's happening. Big T says 24 is the number of clean sheets he will get this season. Love to see it, man. Thanks for joining in. Much appreciated as always. Yeah, so look, it looks like Onana will be 24. I'm happy with that. Laurie Whitwell is reporting in the last couple of minutes, so this is something new for you guys. Ten Hag is seeking a striker this summer. Talks are well underway with Atalanta for Rasmussen Hojlund, and United are hoping to sell on many players in order to recruit further on their recruitment drive. So I'm really happy about that, because look, whilst Onana, Mount, Hojlund, those are three players who come in, start for this team, make a big difference. I still think we need more. So if we're going for more, we're going for a higher league finish. We're backing the manager, and that's what we've needed to do. let's see, 24 clean sheets would be amazing. Yeah, look, if we get 24 clean sheets, we're going to win something. Hopefully they're all in the league as well, because 24 league clean sheets, that probably gets you a Premier League title. He also got down here, Saudi is saying we should make the Hojlund deal quick so he can adjust before the preseason starts. Yeah, absolutely essential that, guys. Really, really important that we get this deal done. And look, we're in America for the next couple of weeks. Then, of course, we're back for few matches. We've got one in Manchester, one in Dublin. So look, there is more pre-season to come. Whether Hojlund is involved in the American leg, maybe that doesn't happen. Look, Atalanta are kind of setting a rough deadline of around about 10 days to get this deal done. That's probably going to cover 2 to 3 pre-season matches. I'm not 100% sure on the calendar, but look, it's a good thing. Honestly, we are really, really making this transfer window into as good a window as what it can be. I think that's a big distinguishing factor we want to go for. Charlie is saying Hojlund will be done by Saturday morning, and then Monday Amrabat. That could be a dream come true if we can get that done. So speaking of Sofyan Amrabat, we have a lot of updates on him. So this is something good because this is something I've been looking forward to. So coming in first and foremost, Fiorentina's Sofyan Amrabat has been handed additional days off amid interest from Manchester United. The feeling in Fiorentina's offices is United will launch a decisive bid for Amrabat over the weekend. The Fiorentina manager Italiano wants Amrabat to join United by Sunday as he feels he's unfocused. So yeah, look, I feel like that's going to be the next one. I would like to think we're getting close in this Hojlund deal. I really, really would, guys. And I feel like we're moving towards it slowly but surely. Vera is saying, Stephanie saying Onana. Honestly, I'm not much of a singer. I'm not the best singer. You guys don't want that. But we have got Onana. Onana, what's the name? Onana, number 24 for Manchester United, the new goalkeeper. Very, very excited to see how he gets on at Manchester United this season. And look, this Amrabat deal, I feel like we're moving forward on it very quickly as well. It's probably contingent on sales, so let's hope we have a couple lined up. Let's see Dean Henderson, Fred, maybe, I don't know, Elanga go pretty soon. I feel like that's going to be a big thing. And look, as Stephanie says, it could be another great acquisition. And that really takes United probably to the window. I feel like if we bring in Amrabat, we bring in Hojlund, we bring in Mount and Onana, maybe we get Suzuki. Maybe that's an additional signing. He's likely to cost around about £5 million. We probably don't need to sell anyone major to fund that move, so maybe that's what we're going to do. And as Dan says, yes guys, smash a like on the video as well, up to 21 already, so much appreciated as always, you guys. So plenty to go through here on tonight's show. We do have some stuff from John Murda speaking on Andre Onana. So Andre was the top choice to become the new goalkeeper for Manchester United. He has the exact profile of technical attributes and personality. Having achieved success throughout his career, we know Andre will want to add to the winning mentality he's building within our squad, and he's already one of the world's best goalkeepers. At the age of 27, we firmly believe he can develop even further over the coming years and have a long time at the club. So all good news, all happy stuff as well. Saudi says, what quality does Amrabat bring to this squad? Well, speaking on Sofyan Amrabat, something that this guy does bring is, number one, he brings a key sense of versatility in an area where we desperately need it. So we desperately need a backup for Casemiro. Now, look, we have Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo has been told he will be a first-team player next season. Doesn't look like he's going on loan. That's good. That's a good piece of information there. But what we can say as well, guys, is what Amrabat brings is a technical quality in a key position. Really, really good on the ball. His passing range is good. Really good in terms of his overall passing as well. You know, he gets a lot of passes off, and he's a hard-working player. And something we've seen in the World Cup was a lot of work rate, a lot of pressing, and he got a lot of plaudits for it. But that's not really the game that he typically plays for Fiorentina. So he comes in, he will be back up to Casemiro. He can play in a midfield as well. We can sit further back as well, maybe play a double pivot, Casemiro and Amrabat in a bigger match, and that really gives us a very strong midfield. And I feel like too often last season, you know, we've seen Manchester United get played through a lot. We've seen this many times when Christian Eriksen started in those big matches. You know, the legs are not there. It's too easy to bypass. And it's one of the reasons I feel like Casemiro had as many suspensions as he did last year was overall he was trying to cover the ground for two players, putting in the tackles for two players in him and Ericsson. So I feel like he is a smart signing. He's going to bring a lot to this team. Greg is saying Ten Hag has said Hojlund is the forward he wants and he's the one who fits his system. I'm confident United will sign him. Hojlund has even pushed for the move himself. Yes, that's really, really good. I love watching players who want to play for this football club. Absolutely massive. Chrissy as well. Any idea why he's been given the number 24? Now, okay, I think am I back, guys? I think we're back. Had to do some tomfoolery there. I think we're back. Let me know if we're back. Yeah, that looks to be working on my end. I don't know what happened there, guys. Apologies for that. Yeah. So let me just double check. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, guys. So where was I last? I think we're talking about Sofyan Amrabat. So when he comes into United, what he's really going to bring is a sense of control and a sense of work rate in that engine room. That's going to be really, really important overall to Manchester United's play. And I think Stephanie made a good point on it there. You know, he's going to bring control, but he's going to bring legs as well. And it's going to be one of those signings. I don't think he comes in and says, I'm going to start over Casemiro. I'm going to come in and I'm going to start every single week. He is probably a very accomplished kind of backup option, maybe like a squad rotation player. Look, we played Fred a lot last season. We played Scott McTominay a lot last season. And that's something we could be seeing next season. So do we want to play Amrabat or do we want to play McTominay and Fred? That's the question. I think we know the answer to that one. I think we all know we want to see Sofyan Amrabat in that midfield room, and I think it makes a big difference to the team overall. Thanks for letting me know, guys, as well. I don't know why I ended up on mute there. I don't know if this is overheating or something. Yeah, so I think we're good. But let me know if it cuts out again. I don't know what happened there, guys. So yeah, so let's see. Tino Livramento is going to Newcastle as well. That's an interesting move there. Let me just double check this. Yeah, guys, so let's get talking about something else because Bruno Fernandes today has been announced as Manchester United's captain, and this is something we're asking you guys on the poll tonight. So let me know your thoughts down below on that there one. So most of you guys at the moment, 93% going for yes, Bruno should be the captain. He is the right man for the job. I think he is. I think looking at the rest of the team, Bruno seems to have that sort of vocalness. He does seem to have that sort of respect within the dressing room. He's a popular player. Look, I think as well, the thing is with Bruno, I feel like there is a lack of genuine, outstanding candidates outside of Bruno. And it's not that United don't have options. It's just I feel like Bruno has been here for a stage now, a long time in his career. He has been here for many years and he has been one of the most important players. So I'm very happy. Albert is saying, good luck, Bruno. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Dan says, like Kane said, I'd smash into someone on a bad. Yeah, guys. So quick quote as well coming from Laurie Whitwell on why Bruno has been made the captain. I'm feeling really good about this. So, Eric Ten Hag made the decision of making Fernandes the captain, and he told the whole squad today Fernandes was backed because of communication skill, tactical appreciation, his leadership as well. So he's a real top professional, Bruno Fernandes. And look, I still feel like Gary Neville owes the man an apology. He made a lot of United fans angry at Anfield that time. Yeah, but oh, Yusuf saying we still can't hear you. Am I out again? Surely I'm not out again. No, it does look to be working. Let me know if it's working, guys. Saudi is saying Amrabat and Casemiro at the base we could play deep lying playmakers for big games. Yeah, that's my thought exactly. And look, it's a good option to have. It means we can go back, we can sit back, we can hold on in those key areas, and it's going to make a massive difference to how United play every single week, especially against those big teams. Look, the away record last season, especially against top 10 teams away from home, absolutely shocking, absolutely abysmal. So I'm so happy about that. Mr. Yu says Onana 24, give Maguire number 1. Maybe Hojlund gets number 1. Maybe that's the way we go. Dan says as well, yes, we need someone out there putting a foot in, getting control, and some extra protection. Yeah, look, I don't think it's a bad idea. I really don't. And to me, the best Manchester United teams have always had different ways to play. Whether it's holding on to a lot of the ball, whether it's counter-attacking, whether it's sitting back, soaking up the pressure where it needs to be. I feel like this just gives Eric Ten Hag more tools in his arsenal to manage to really do something with Manchester United. And look, if this is the difference between United finishing third, fourth, and finishing second, or pushing on, challenging for a league title, that could be massive. Stephanie says Bruno has the passion, respect, and vocality. Hopefully, someone will improve him even more with consistency. Yeah, and look, I feel like one of the big things with Bruno Fernandes, look, this man is a creative genius. This man makes so much opportunities. He will get better when United get better. When he has Mason Mount to play off and make those runs into the box, that's going to help Bruno. When he has Rasmussen Hojlund to be setting up within the box instead of Wout Weghorst, you're going to see an even better Bruno Fernandes, and that's nothing but a good thing, guys. Honestly, so excited to see what Bruno will be doing next season for United. Really going to be a big positive for us. Who else have we got down in the comments? You can see one going in there as well. Greg is saying Amrabat will give United more muscle and energy, which we need. I feel like in certain games at Anfield and at the Etihad, Amrabat will be alongside Casemiro to provide a more solid defence. Yeah, absolutely. And Vera says we need a number 6 and 2 strikers, Remy and Hojlund plus Amrabat. Yep, that sounds good. And thanks for letting me know about the sound as well, She. Don't know what's happening with YouTube tonight either. It's been a bit weird all day for me. So, and Adam is saying as well, very happy for Bruno as captain. Yeah, I'm feeling really happy. I feel like he is the perfect shout within that dressing room. And there's other players who could have got it. We could have went Casemiro. We could have went Rashford or Shaw or Varane. But we went with Bruno Fernandes. We stuck with our guy. We stuck with the man who really led us last season. And the win rate with Bruno Fernandes last year, a lot better than what it was with Maguire. A lot better. And he really did make a big difference for me. Dan says, I feel like Martial will stay 1 more year and be back up to Hojlund and Rashford. He will play around 12 to 15 games, no more. And at least we have options getting Hojlund over the line. Yeah, absolutely. Rajat, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining in. I think that's the big thing. And I really like what you're saying there as well. I feel like Anthony Martial is a player we're going to be stuck with. And like, it's unfortunate. It's going to be the way it is. But there's nothing we can do about it. He will be a Manchester United player next year because nobody wants to buy the guy. Not for the money we want, not for the wages he currently earns. And then you're looking at players taking pay cuts. It's always a messy game. You cannot depend on Premier League footballers taking pay cuts to go play somewhere where they might deem as a smaller club. Ashid is saying even if Hojlund comes in, would he take number 9 from Martial? Probably not when he's at the club. Vera says get the likes up. Yes, guys, drop a like on it as well. And Rajat says weak announcement about Onana. Yeah, man, I was expecting to see some Rihanna in there. I was expecting to see some Drake or something. I don't know. But yeah, honestly, guys, it is real. I'm still so happy about this. Honestly, really excited to see what Onana is going to do to this team. Playing further up the pitch, playing out from the back can be so beneficial. And you only have to go back to look at the last 2 matches. Look at what Matej Kovar has done in goals for Manchester United. The way we start attacks from the goalkeeper. 1, 2, 3 passes, and then we're on the attack. And that's such a difference from De Gea having the ball, playing it out to Wan-Bissaka, goes back to De Gea, back to Maguire, back to Luke Shaw before we finally get it up the pitch. So that's going to be a big difference. Vera says Martial, 1 year left on his contract. Finally, he can go next summer. Yep, he does just scream like a player that's going to leave on a free transfer. Not too much we can do about that, unfortunately, guys. But it is what it is. And look, it's unfortunate with Martial because by this stage of his career, if it had gone to plan, if it had went the way it was supposed to do, Anthony Martial would be United's starting striker. He probably would have 20 goals a season minimum, but he just never fulfilled that potential. And look, we've seen glimpses of it. There was that lockdown season under Ollie, there was the first season under Van Gaal, but I just don't think it's ever going to happen for Anthony Martial at United. And look, I would love the guy to prove me wrong. I would love him to be next season, stay fit all year long, score 25 goals, be one of United's key players, and lead us to some silverware, some big success. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen with this guy, and I feel like United have realised that too. Dan says, get Rihanna on the American tour at halftime. Would love to see it as well. Who else have we got as well? Stephanie saying, horses for courses next season. Rotate more to avoid injuries, suspensions, and loss of form. Ten Hag getting his players in and a youth injection as well as Mune and Hannibal, absolutely. And Bado is saying as well, Hojlund is the answer. Yeah, I feel like Hojlund will be the answer for Manchester United. I feel like really strongly that the style of play, the runs he makes, the movement in the box, his raw talent, it's so good that he will be a big player for Manchester United should he sign. And that's what it's going to come down to. Greg is saying with Fred possibly going, Martial occupying the number 9 shirt, Hojlund could maybe take the number 17, the number he wears at Atalanta. It might be. That might be what he goes for. Could see Garnacho in number 17 as well. I feel like he's set for a new shirt number as well. Owusu is saying Ramos still must be quick. Yeah, I feel like when you get Rasmussen quick. And look, as Fabrizio Romano said earlier, PSG are in contact. So PSG sniffing around. Atalanta want it done within the next 10 days or so. Let's see this deal move. Let's see United really ramp up the pressure, get this deal done, and get moving quickly on it because it's going to make a big difference at this key stage of the transfer window. So, small update coming in for Sofyan Amrabat as well from Gazeta. They're saying Manchester United are really going to sink a blow for Sofyan Amrabat within a few days. So, I think that's going to be a blow for Fiorentina. They're going to put a bid in that probably gets accepted, and I think it's nothing but a good thing, guys, because look, we've said before, we've been talking about it on stream, this will be such a difference to Manchester United. Having genuine players who can come in, make a difference when they're on that pitch will be so beneficial. And once you increase the quality of your squad, then you can rotate without losing performance levels, without fearing of losing matches, and that's going to be a big difference to Manchester United. Stephanie says the number 5 we want to engine. Maybe we go Garnacho 5. Maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. Look, let me check as well. There was something else I wanted to go through as well, just before we go through some questions and stuff. What have we got? Yeah, so this is on Alex Telles. So we want to talk about this. So first and foremost, we were kind of told by TalkSport that this deal would be 10 million. Now we're told by Fabrizio, by a lot of sources, it's going to be £4 million. Now, there has been issues with Al Nassr. They have issues with documentation. They've also not exactly paid all of the money to the clubs that they've meant to pay it to. So until that's done, Alex Telles will be training by himself at Carrington, waiting for this move to go through. So United are still waiting for Al Nassr to sign the documents for the Telles deal after a verbal agreement on the fee. Al Nassr has asked for more time to sign and complete the deal, says Fabrizio Romano. So look, I want to see Telles gone, and look, I was disappointed when I saw £4 million. I cannot lie. I really thought we could have got nearly £10 million. I feel like we could have doubled that, but it was the only money offer on the table. Everybody else wanted to take him for free, so it's kind of like, we took the best deal on the table. So we move on. Look, United summer will not hinge around selling Alex Telles for 6-7 million instead of 4 million. Look, that's not going to be the big difference in Manchester United summer. Look, what we need to focus on though is the rest of these sales. That's where it's really going to start coming down to. And I'm seeing already there's reports coming out from good outlets that some players who probably should be sold might not be going after all, and that has to be a concern if we're looking to bring more players in. And look, simply put, sell more players, you buy more players, you bring in Erik Ten Hag players, you bring in better players. Vera is saying Tuchel's getting all Ten Hag's target. First came in Jai and now Kane. Yeah, look, Harry Kane was the big summer signing we were expecting. We talked about it all throughout the window, all throughout the window, and all last season. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. I just don't think it will be going on. We have an update coming in from TalkSport on Harry Maguire. So this is one I'm really hoping is Maguire's agent, or it's Harry Maguire putting this story out, because, man, if this is true, it just genuinely shows that Harry Maguire has no career ambition. Because this has come out. Ten Hag has told Harry Maguire he does not want him to leave despite stripping him of the captain's armband. We have gone as close to public humiliation with Harry Maguire as possible. We've took the captain's armband off him. We've signed Johnny Evans to come in and probably be in the squad instead of Maguire, and Maguire still isn't going. Beto is saying United selling Telles at that little amount is crazy. Yeah, look, it's disappointing, guys. I wanted to see him go for a higher fee, of course. Like, I want United to really get these big sales done. So Don Bosco says, I'll be happy if we get rid of players and get Hojlund and Amrabat. And Jay says, don't take Ten Hag for his words. No, absolutely not. And that's good, because all top managers, they kind of need to tell a little lie here and there. Pep Guardiola saying we cannot replace Sergio Aguero, and he goes and buys he buys Haaland and scores 60 goals in a season. So look, yes, we can't trust that as well. But look, I'm hoping that's not coming out from Maguire's side. I feel like that might be something going out into the press if we're trying to sell the guy. I really hope so, because I don't know if Harry Maguire has realised this, if not, that he is not wanted at this football club and he is not backed by the manager. And the manager's basically telling him, you're not in my plans. I'm not going to use you. I don't think you're ever going to be good enough for Manchester United, so I think you should go. Daniel Sams is asking any updates on TakeOver. Yes, we do have an update on the TakeOver coming in from Sir Dave Brailsworth, who is, of course, one of Sir Jim Radcliffe's top negotiators, a business partner. He says, on the bid for Manchester United, obviously we have been involved and we continue to be involved. It is something we're very keen to do, but we cannot discuss it in detail due to non-disclosure agreements. So they're not pulling out of this just yet. They are still holding on hope. This is the Ineos bid, of course. In terms of Qataris, it's gone very quiet. Outside of what we had yesterday with Sheikh Jassim's frustration at his belief that the Glazers might be leading him on, we don't really have too much. It's gone very, very quiet on that one. Stephanie says, get our money back on Telles, 12 to 15 million. I hope we did, and I really hope that we do. Now, there is add-ons for this, of course. But I don't know. Look, we're saving money on the wage bill as well. Alex Telles is about £5 million a year, so maybe that's something, I guess. But I mean, it's just another one of these players who United seem to sign for no real reason, who we probably didn't need, and who we're making a loss on. And it's the same story across the last 20 years at Manchester United. Really, really disappointing. Rajat says, hope we don't get Johnny Evans. I don't know if we will. I don't know. Look, I said in the show last night as well, something I will say about Johnny Evans is when United brought him in, it's kind of like he's come in just to train, just to build up his fitness. He's impressed Ten Hag. Ten Hag says you can have a 2-game contract and we'll give you a run out in the team. Now he has impressed Erik Ten Hag in the team. So maybe Johnny Evans is somebody he keeps because he brings an experience. He brings a leadership that maybe we're missing. Or you can never have enough experienced leaders in the locker room. And Johnny Evans has won a lot of things in trophies in football. He's won Premier League titles. He's won FA Cups. Yes, he's had poor seasons, but I still think he's a decent player. And if he's going to be here on a Tom Heaton-like deal where he might come in and play a match a month at tops, as an emergency backup if we have suspensions and injuries and we desperately need to rotate. I don't think it's a bad idea having Johnny Evans, who you can turn to. Rajat says, no for the NEOS bid, don't want Radcliffe, I'm against that. Yeah, look, I know a lot of people are. I feel, honestly, with this takeover, I'm so sick of covering it on the show. You know, we want it done, we really do. And the biggest thing that annoys me is not knowing. It's not knowing where it's going, it's a lack of progress. I would describe myself as maybe a little bit impatient anyway. So Manchester United, you know, they really do try the nerves sometimes. But I can say for a fact, I could not have expected this to go on as long as it had. And now I expect it to go on a lot longer. And I have kind of resigned myself to that fact. I have sort of resigned myself to the Glazers will be in charge come the start of the Premier League season. The Glazer family will be in charge when Manchester United kick off in around 3 weeks' time. They will be in charge come September. They might be in charge by the end of the year. And look, it's disheartening. It's not what we want to see, but it's where we are as a football club, and until they're gone, we are always going to be stuck in this sort of rut. We will always be stuck in the mud to an extent. Rajat says, sign Johnny Evans on a 1-year deal, maybe. Yeah, look, I feel like it's an emergency signing. Yep, big shout out there to Stephanie as well. 25 likes, 26 now. Thank you very much, guys, for that. Keep those likes coming as well. Much appreciated, guys. And let's have a check as well, because there's some other things I wanted to run through in the news. And one of them is going to be FC Utrecht. So we might be asking, why are Manchester United and a United fan channel talking about FC Utrecht in the Dutch league? It's a good question, but I think there's definitely a link here. There's definitely something going on behind the scenes, because we have sold Zidane Iqbal to FC Utrecht. We have sold Bjorn Hardley to FC Utrecht. Erik ten Hag had managed at FC Utrecht, and now we're looking at selling more players to FC Utrecht. So are Manchester United getting a feeder club? I'm sure some of you guys will remember United did used to have an agreement. We kind of had a relationship with Antwerp in the Belgian league as well before. Maybe now we've got this with Utrecht. Luman is saying, good to see you, man. Thank you very much for joining in. And yep, guys, thanks for the likes. Up to 28 likes. Can we get to 30 likes? Is that possible, guys? Drop a like on the video. Much appreciated as always. Yeah, look, I'm agreeing with Rajat here as well. The announcement is okay. It could have been better. It could have been better. Maybe it's because Onana is on tour now. I don't know. But as Stephanie says, yes, feeder clubs. And this is something we're seeing across Europe at the moment. And look, this had been talked about from a lot of Qatari sources. One of the things that they were maybe proposing was for the Qataris to buy over Manchester United. Then they would own PSG, of course, as well. And then they might try to buy over Braga in the Portuguese league. And that would mean that there's a feeder club there picking up the top South American talents who would sell those talents on to Manchester United and to PSG for a profit, which would also allow United and PSG to have a real foothold in that market. We've seen it before with Antwerp. We've seen Chelsea manage to buy a big investment in Strasbourg in the French league. So maybe this is something that's going to be happening. Who have we got down here? Dan is saying, Evans 1-year deal makes sense to next season, solid and unreliable like Maguire. Yeah, look, it's solid, it's reliable, it's a little bit plain, it's tea and toast. We know what we're getting with Johnny Evans. We know it's going to be okay. It's never going to be bad. And he might just be a solid, reliable option. If we sell Harry Maguire, that saves us having to spend money on a centre-back now who might not be the big plan. I feel like what Ten Hag wants to do, he's probably looking at the team and he's looking at the weaknesses. He's probably saying, right, we got Raphael Varane here, very good centre-back, but he is 30 years old. He is injury-prone. We need to start looking at the long-term replacements. Harry Maguire, if we sell him for £30 million, will a £30 million centre-back be enough to replace Raphael Varane? Probably not. So I feel like what his plan will be if we bring Johnny Evans in, sell Maguire, we can buy Amrabat with that money. And then next season, we go after the big signings in the centre-back positions, maybe a right-back, and that's how we try to strengthen this team even more. Who else have we got? Luman is saying, are we giving Ten Hag too much power? I don't think so. I feel like one of the big things at United is there is a lack of real ability in the upper echelons in terms of the board, the directors, CEOs. I feel like it's a good thing that Ten Hag has been given the authority he is. Now, it's not Erik ten Hag dealing with FC Utrecht. It's not him doing the transfers. He gives a list of players he would like, and ultimately it's up to John Murda, it's up to Matt Hargreaves, it's up to guys like that to go get him the players he wants. Whether they do or not, that's a different debate, but I don't think we're giving them too much power. Rajat says, yes, Johnny Evans, he isn't very quick. That's a good point. But look, if Johnny Evans comes in and maybe plays one match a month, Carabao Cup against Burton Albion, to give Varane and Lindelof a night off, that's no problem. That is literally no problem at all for me whatsoever. Dan says, who's quicker, Evans or Slabhead? We might be waiting a long time in that race. I feel like we could probably complete a marathon by the time that 100-meter sprint will be done. Rajat says, are we going to be Ajax 2.0? No, we are going to be Manchester United, and that's what we're going to be. And Erik ten Hag, yeah, he will want to bring his Ajax style of play. He will want to bring his Ajax philosophy to this football club. But United and Ajax are two teams very, very closely linked in terms of what they've done in the past. The biggest successes of each club has been built upon the back of young players coming through and absolutely smashing it up in the first team. You know, Ajax done that their whole history as a football club. The biggest spells of success under United in the 1960s, in the 90s, in the early 2000s as well, all done on the back of top level young players. And there has been a long link between United and Ajax. It's one of those things in football, but I'm not too stressed. And look, Ten Hag, he'll want to bring his style of play. That's why we brought him in, because we believe in the guy. And I don't think what we're going to see from Ten Hag will be exactly what we saw at Ajax. I feel like there will be differences in the same way that Pep's Man City don't really play like Pep's Barcelona team. It's still a Guardiola team. The basic principles are still there, but it's adapted for a different league. And I think that's one of the most important things. And anybody who remembers the Louis van Gaal era, that is the prime example of what happens when you don't adjust the overall philosophy of your football club and your ability on the pitch to a new league. Because yes, in Spain that worked, in the Netherlands it worked, in Germany it worked, where you would have teams who would still attack you when you held 60-70% of the football. But in England, when you held all the football, they just sat back and said, okay, have fun. So that's a big one for me. Maybe we got Stephanie Evans, good defensive organizer, like a backup goalkeeper, ready when needed. Yes, like Tom Heaton, it's like Lee Grant. He's not going to play, but he's there. Rajat, Ed Woodward, and Matt Judge. Rain was a waste of time. Yeah, it was an absolute waste of time. And look, more people aren't questioning this. I'm seeing Rooney in the media. I'm seeing Graham Souness. I'm seeing people saying Glazers are good owners. A good owner would not have investment bankers running the football operations of Manchester United Football Club after Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And when you desperately needed some of the top guys in the industry, we had guys making financial decisions. We were buying players based on, are they going to sell some shirts? Are they going to sell some merch? We weren't asking if they're good players or not. And then we went and we moved on to the phase of buying good players just because they were good. They have to fit in the team as well. Let me see. Dan says Evans loves the club too. Yes. Luman says, will Bruno change his attitude now he's captain? For me, it'll just be the same as what we've seen throughout last season. You know, he will be complaining to refs. He will be shouting at his teammates. But that's what you get with Bruno Fernandes. I've no problem with it. Personally, I've absolutely no issue with Bruno Fernandes shouting, getting on. It's okay. Like Roy Keane chased after referee shouting at him, complaining. Bruno Fernandes does it. Not the same players, but the point still stands. I think he's the right guy for us, honestly. Let me see. Dan says Edwin looking much better now. Also, yes, that's really, really good. Big T says Bruno upsets refs, and we need refs for decisions. Yeah, look, that's true. But some of them, I feel like we might not have got the decision if Bruno didn't complain. So maybe it's a bit of 6-1, half dozen the other. Maybe that's the situation we find ourselves in. Luman says, who's our sister club in the Premier League or even in Championship or Division 1? I don't really know if we have one. Look, United have had links to the likes of Preston North End in the past. We've sent players on loan to Salford. Look, we have a decent connection with the local Manchester clubs. You know, you're looking at the likes of the Boltons, the Wigans, Salfords, the Prestons. You know, in and around the same area. Even Burnley. Like, Burnley might be a club where we look to loan some players who are ready for first team football in the Premier League, but maybe don't have the guaranteed moments to play for Manchester United week in, week out. And I feel like Burnley would be a really good loan for a Facundo Pellistri or an Amad Diallo, somebody like that, because Vincent Kompany plays very good football with them. They're in the same kind of area in Burnley. It's not too far away, and that might be a really good move. Keeps them close to home, it keeps them close to United, but it also gives them the independence of going out and playing on their own 2 feet as well. Rajat says, who's going to be cheap from wages perspective? From a wage perspective, Rasmussen Hojlund going to be pretty cheap. Looks like at the moment he earns £500,000 per year. So that's probably going to go up about 10 times. He might get around 70, 80,000, which, I mean, that's like 3 years' wages for me, maybe 3.5. And that's a weekly wage for those guys. But I mean, comparatively so, it is quite low. Liman is saying that the English media will be harsh towards Bruno after taking the captaincy from Maguire. That's a good question. They're already harsh towards Bruno Fernandes. You know, they really do have a witch hunt out against the guys sometimes. It is embarrassing. It is so annoying and frustrating as well. But it is what it is, guys. Honestly, there's not too much we can do. Stephanie says Bruno got us that goal against City. Yes. Dan says Neville needs to get off Bruno's back. He loved to moan too. Yeah, Gary Neville loved to moan. He loved a strike. He loved fighting with the fans and with the referees. And Rizat says Van de Beek will be given opportunities under Ten Hag. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Erik ten Hag would like to give him an opportunity, but realistically, Donny van de Beek is probably third choice in his position. I think Eriksen's ahead of him, Mount's ahead of him, and Bruno's going to be ahead of him. So he's not going to come in and play instead of Casemiro. He's not going to play ahead of those guys. I feel like it makes all the sense in the world for him to move on. That's personally what I would go for. Big T says Donny is a number 9 after that volley. He did play number 9 at Ajax sometimes. Yeah, look, he kind of played false 9 sometimes. Really what they did was they kind of played Dusan Tadic false 9 and Donny kind of broke into the box. Look, it's a paradox, so it is. It is a paradox because Donny van de Beek, really good player, and he does well when United holds a lot of possession. But at the same time, Donny van de Beek doesn't actually contribute to United holding possession, so he needs it, but he doesn't really provide it, and it's kind of a frustrating thing as well. In that regard, because technically really good footballer, really positive footballer, but I don't know. I just don't think it's going to work out for him. So, guys, keep voting on that poll. Andre Onana had previously revealed if he had not been a goalkeeper, he would have been a policeman. He says, I like to protect. There is a very interesting quote there. So, I don't know why United and James Tucker felt the need to put that out there, but now we have it. Andre Onana would have been a policeman if he was not a goalkeeper. Let's see. Helbert, good to see you. Congratulations, my brother Bruno. I wish you all the best in this journey of captaincy for our beloved club, Manchester United. Thank you for that as well, guys. Rajat, he can beat Eriksen at 8 and he can play at 10. Yeah, look, he can. He can, but the thing is, I don't think Christian Eriksen is going to be first choice next season regardless. So I feel like the big competition for Van de Beek is to be better than Eriksen often enough that when Mount drops in form, Van de Beek's the guy who gets onto the pitch. Looking at his form record, looking at his injury record, I don't know if it's going to happen. Liman says there were stories of Donny being lazy in training under Ranić. True. I'm not 100% sure on that. I can't really remember back. I've blocked a lot of last season out of my mind for very good reasons, because a lot of it was some of the worst football I have ever seen from a Manchester United team. And look, that was reflected worst ever points tally. That was reflected in the worst ever Manchester United side in Premier League history. So 30 years of history until that point. So I try to block it out of my head as much as possible. But yeah, I mean, look, he did go on loan that season, I think, as well. I don't know. I'm just like, is it going to happen with Donny? I feel like last season would have been the season for it to happen. And look, it's a big thing, and it comes down to injuries as well. And look, when we have Donny van de Beek on the pitch, he needs to be fit and he needs to be better than those ahead of him. Will he be fit and in better form than Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, and Eriksen all at the one time? I really doubt it. So I feel like he's a prime candidate to be sold. So let me just see anything coming in on Rasmussen Hojlund. We have an update from Laurie Whitwell. So Ten Hag is seeking a striker this season. Talks well underway for a potential deal for Atalanta's Rasmussen Hojlund. United are looking to move several players on to further that recruitment drive. So that's good, guys. That's really good. RSV, pretty sure Ten Hag is doing with Maguire is very similar to the way he lied to the media about Ronaldo and De Gea. I hope so. Dan says big game Saturday, even if it's a friendly. Arsenal versus United is a juicy game. And Stephanie says loan spell at Everton briefly. Yeah, I think he scored once and that was about it. And look, it was a strange time for Manchester United. Look, we had big people in the United community telling us that Van de Beek could play a number 6 position because we didn't want to see Fred and McTominay there. It's frustrating, but I mean, it was what it was. Rajat says he won't leave this year because he got injured for a long time. Look, yeah, maybe not. I think injuries will come down to it. I think lack of form, but it has been a really bizarre signing. It really has, because when he first came in, I was very excited. He came off a brilliant campaign in the Champions League with Ajax. He was one of the highest rated young midfielders in European football, and he was basically never played by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even when United were playing well. And then we went to Rangnick, and he didn't play, and he went on loan. And then he went to Ten Hag, and he was injured, and he was in and out of the team. It's kind of frustrating. Something just screamed about this transfer. Looking back on it, I don't know if he was ever a Manchester United signing. I don't know if the manager ever truly wanted him. And this is going back to Ollie. I feel like Ollie wanted a different type of midfielder, and we went for Van de Beek. Innocent Mayo is saying, I'm thinking of Greenwood. I don't know what's going to happen there. It's going to be interesting. Him not going on loan now, I think it means he's probably going to get released at some stage. United might be looking for a way to release him from the contract. He just needs to go rebuild his career if that's what he's going to do, but it's not going to happen at United. Rizvan, good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Much appreciated, man. Really appreciate everybody down in that chat as well. Much appreciated, guys. Stephanie says we need at least 2 hitmen for next season, obviously on the pitch. And Rizvan says I'm a City fan. And Stephanie says Ollie wanted Grealish. Yeah, look, Ollie wanted a lot of players, and some of them, if we had signed them, United would be one of the best teams around. And look, it's the way it works out. You know, we wanted Bellingham, we wanted Caicedo, we wanted Haaland, we wanted Grealish. So United could have been a much different team, honestly. Who else have we got down here? Rajat says Donny could have gone to Real. Yeah, he could have went to Real Madrid. They really wanted him after he did a brilliant job on them at the Bernabeu. So, on the poll tonight, we had asked, is Bruno Fernandes the right man for captaincy? And 91% of you, overwhelming endorsement from the United philosophy faithful, has said yes, Bruno Fernandes, he is the right man to be Manchester United captain. I completely agree for that as well. Rajat says Ollie had no plan for Sancho. Why did he do that deal? I don't know. I feel like with Sancho, we kind of had a different expectation than the player he was. And I don't know if United did a lack of research. I don't know if United were trying to go a certain way, and then we didn't get the signings needed to pull it off. But look, Sancho's a player, he's kind of like Johnny Van de Beek. He needs a lot of possession to really thrive. And he's not a traditional winger. I feel like we had an expectation that Sancho would come in, he would knock the ball around his man, he would run into the space, hit the byline, put crosses into the box. He wasn't really that type of player at Dortmund. He really heavily relied upon Hakimi behind him, providing overlaps. That gave him a constant passing option. He had Haaland as well. So I don't know. I feel like with Sancho, it's like the personnel hasn't been there to get the best out of him. Could he have done a lot more in the same time? Absolutely, he could have. Could have been more decisive on the pitch. Could have been more interested on the pitch. Worked harder, I think. So, look, a lot of things do have to change with Sancho's game for sure. And I feel like he's going to be behind Antony again in the pecking order this season. And look, that is frustrating if you're a Manchester United fan, if you're a Sancho fan, but he's going to have a lot of work to do to get back into this team. Let me see. Sancho was brought in because of fan pressure. Let's accept it. We were desperate, and we are to be blamed. Total flop. I can't argue with it based on what we've seen so far. Razat says 1-2 movement. Innocent as well is saying the Glazers don't have a vision on our players. Greenwood deserve a second chance. Dan says, I think Sancho will be a good season. Alejandro after his place. And Stephanie says, go Sancho to get Haaland, maybe the Dortmund connection. Look, I don't know what's happened, Sancho. It's been disappointing. Look, first season he came in, it was United's worst ever season in 30 years. Everybody played bad. Last season was meant to be the year where he really hit the ground running, where he really made a big difference, making a lot of goals and assists for United. it didn't happen. He was injured from time. His form dropped. He had a long period out of the team as well, where Erik ten Hag looked to protect him. So I don't know what's going on there. I really hope that we get the best out of him, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Liman says not even Pep can improve Sancho. Rajat says keep Garnacho. He's going to keep Jadon out of the team. And Pep didn't really want Jadon as well. And Dan says, I see Rashford playing centre forward, so Sancho will get a lot of games. Maybe that's going to be the case. I feel like Rashford's always better on that left-hand side, but if we only get Hojlund, we probably are going to need Rashford through the middle from time to time. That'll give game time to Sancho. It'll give game time to Garnacho. So it's all good in that respect. Obviously, we would like 2 strikers as well, because that's really going to make us much, much better. Rajat says, well, Sancho did improve the last 5-6 games. Yes, he did. No doubt about it. Towards the end of last season, was a very good player for Manchester United. In the pre-season, hasn't been too bad. Some really nice moves. Has been unlucky not to score. So I'm hoping this can be the start of the real Jadon Sancho. I feel like this is probably his last real shot at making it at this football club. Luman says Sancho's going to Dele Alli. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like that. He might just not be suited to Premier League football. Maybe that's going to be what happens to the guy. I don't know. I would love to see him smash it up. I would love to see Sancho really, really do well for himself, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Greg is saying Fergie, Mourinho, and now Ten Hag have signed players that suited the team and the system. I feel like a striker, he just signed players not knowing exactly how they fit in. That's why Donny was wasted. Yeah, look, that's a good point. And I think that probably comes down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer not really having a footballing philosophy of his own. United didn't know what we wanted to be. We were set up initially to play on the counter-attack. It worked very well because we had Dan James, we had Martial, and we had Marcus Rashford. We had 3 very quick, very mobile players up front, and we were devastating on the counter-attack. Then we decided we wanted to be a possession team. It worked okay. We brought Cavani in. He held the ball up further up the pitch for us. Bruno came in, did really well. And then we decided we wanted to be a pressing team as well. And then, like, we sacked Ollie. We went to Ranić, and he had too old of a team. He couldn't press with it. And now Ten Hag has come in. He's tearing up the foundations. He's building his own team. And that's the main thing. Let me see. Innocent is saying Sancho is a good player. He's losing focus. Nixon is saying Amrabat would join and be the Fred replacement. Yes, he'll be a Fred replacement, a McTominay replacement, and he's a better player than both of those players. So that isn't just a replacement, that is an upgrade, and that is why we need him. Dan says, put Milner on his backside and love that goal from Jadon. Yeah, it's not that there hasn't been moments. There really has been some good moments for Jadon Sancho in a Manchester United top. That goal against Chelsea, the one against Liverpool, goals this season as well. So I'm hoping that he really can kick on. I would love to see it. I really, really would. It would make me up, absolutely. But it's going to be whether it happens or not, guys. That's going to be the big one. It's been a very good week for United. And look, it's just been described here as well. Rashford, new deal. Bruno captain. Onana signed. Hojlund close. Amrabat moving in the right direction. Suzuki getting close. Players going. Pre-season going well. Manchester United, this has been a good week for us so far, and there's still a lot to come for as well, guys, of course. So with that in mind, guys, I'm going to drop off the stream now, so thanks very much for joining in with me. If you guys are new, please consider hitting that sub button. Really helps me out as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a very good Friday, guys, and I'll see you all then.